So I have a lot of friends now that come to me looking for advice because they know that I've been on this journey with my oldest son to figure out what was going on with him in school. And the advice that I give them is, if you've already been to a psychologist and spent the money and you don't feel like you have the answers, to call 3D Learner. If you haven't gone the psychologist route to spend all that money, call 3D Learner first, because for just a few $100s, they will help you get the answers that you need, because they understand these kids who are smart but are struggling in school like nobody else. Just as I mentioned before, the report that I got from the psychologist with the standard IQ test was did not only provide information that was helpful, it actually provided information that was inaccurate and wrong, and almost a misdiagnosis of my oldest son. Because what they said was that he was not gifted and that he didn't have any learning challenges, when in reality he is gifted, but he learns differently, which can to some people seem like a learning disability, but for me it's not a disability, because he's so smart in so many different areas. And in the areas where he does have challenges in school, he's just differently abled. He learns math a totally different way than I do. And in fact, when I've seen him work with somebody who understands visual spatial learners, we were able to meet with somebody, a math expert who teaches math to visual spatial learners. We actually met them at Mark and Mira's office. Arthur was able to do math in a way that was so interesting to me, because I was a math major and engineering major in college for most of my time in my undergrad. And it's funny, I can do all the steps required to do math. But Arthur really understands it in a visual spatial way, which many people would think, including myself, that he understands it actually better than I do. But he just doesn't understand it the way it's taught in school, because the schools teach it to auditory sequential learners like myself. And they don't address kids like Arthur, who are visual and don't learn the same way. So when I learned and got the confirmation that as a mom, I believed that he was gifted, not just smart, but gifted, which I didn't even really know what that meant. And Mark and Mira helped me understand, but Mira also invited me to attend the Gifted conference with her, which opened my eyes to what gifted is really about. It's not necessarily high achieving, and it's not necessarily kids who are really successful in school, but it really totally helped me understand my son, which helped me to better prepare him for school and helped me to help him. I mean, as much as these kids need help, parents need help as well, because we're their guides. We're helping our kids, through school. And if I didn't understand my son, I couldn't help him. So in that respect, Mark and Mira have been so wonderful and actually have become like family to us, because it doesn't end when you walk out of 3D Learner. Mark and Mira will help my son with math, or I'll text them a question about something that happened in school, or we'll email, or the relationship that you build with Mark and Mira from 3D Learner is one for life. And I'm so, so grateful to them for helping me and for helping my son.